Hey guys, Rose Pants here with another edition of Munchies Madness, and today is going to be another healthy edition where we're going to be making kale chips. This is something that I've heard a lot about. Everything good, never heard of someone making it and saying that they didn't like it, but I've just never actually made it myself. And it's like the easiest thing in the world to make. So let's get started, and I'll show you how easy it is and how few ingredients you really need. Here we are with our ingredients. Super simple. Here we have some kale. You can use any kind of kale that you want. I'm not exactly sure what kind this is. I'm gonna guess dinosaur. I don't know. Regular kale. And then I'm gonna season it with some sea salt and black pepper. And then the recipe calls for olive oil, but unfortunately I didn't have olive oil at the moment, so I'm just gonna be using some vegetable oil. I think it's gonna do the same thing. And then of course here we have a pan, and it's lined with some wax paper. Looking at my super ghetto oven, where you can't even see most of the numbers anymore, we are preheating at about 300 degrees. You can prepare as much or as little as you want. It's really up to you. And I just have a big leaf, medium leaf, and then a small leaf, just to try out my little test batch, since this is the first time that I'm making this. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is remove this big huge stem, because obviously we don't want to eat that part. Didn't exactly know how to film myself cutting this. Yeah, so you separate all the ribs of the kale and you're left with your leaves, and then you want to cut it up into bite-sized pieces, and then we're almost good to go. So what I decided to do was put all of my kale into a large bowl and then dress it with just a tiny bit of the oil and then some salt and pepper, so then I'd have it all ready to go and I can just bake as many batches as it takes. First batch is all ready to go. It's really important that they're spread evenly and the kale pieces are not stacked on top of each other. And the reason why it's so important is because you want these to bake into chips. And if they're all piled on top of each other, then it's going to steam them and they're not going to crisp. They're just gonna get soggy. And that's not really the effect we're looking for. So I threw that tray into the oven for 20 minutes. Every recipe that I looked online had a different amount of time and temperature for how you bake your kale chips. So I just went with an even number of 300, because some people said 275, some people said 350, and I don't know. So I'm going to check them in 10 minutes and see how they look. Maybe give them a flip if they seem like they need it. I don't know, I've never made it before, so we'll see how it goes. Like I expected they would, the kale chips shrunk down quite a bit, and they are super crispy, as you can hear. So they are done, and I'm ready to throw in the next batch. Threw that second batch in to finish up, and I do think right off the bat that I cooked these just a little too long. They're pretty damn crisp, but they actually still taste really good. It's a little kale flavor, but most of the flavor is definitely from the salt and pepper and a little bit of the oily flavor. I don't know. I definitely do think it's kind of like sitting with a bowl of potato chips. You're not just gonna eat one. You're gonna sit down and have a whole bowl. But with these kale chips, you're not gonna feel bad. You're not gonna get fat. So why not? You're also not gonna clog your arteries. It's a big one right there. We'll see how the second batch comes out. Second batch definitely turned out better. We are gonna let them cool down a little bit because they're definitely too hot right at the moment. I'm really excited to try this batch because, as you can see, they're still crispy, but they're not like way over crisped like that first batch. All right, here we go. It's our final product, kale chips. And yeah, these are definitely really good. Final verdict on kale chips is that they're delicious and quick and easy to make, so I really dare you to make them, seriously. I know you guys are all stoners, so the next time you're stoned, I hope you go and make some kale chips. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.